What's going on, yo? I'm back with another one, and I was taking a look at the story on YouTube. As a DjAkademiks addresses Nipsey Hussle's claims that he walked off of Everyday Struggle, and Academics basically elaborates on what exactly happened. Rest in peace, Nipsey. He's not here to give his exact side, but Academics doesn't sound like he's making anything up, or he's not trying to accuse Nipsey of lying. He maybe is accusing Nipsey of having a skewed perception of what happened as far as like who controlled what. And yeah, I'm gonna let y'all take a. It's a long clubhouse, so I'm gonna just break down the clip and let y'all take a listen to what Academics said. First off, I'm gonna let you know, just since it's been a while, I'm gonna let you see what Nip said about him and the complex and the everyday struggle situation.
DjAkademiks is a meatball to me, so he said stuff. He said some stuff about Chicago, rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, he's a buster. He's a weirdo. Niggas will whoop his ass in real life. He behind the camera, and you gotta just let clowns be clowns, man. Like I was on Everyday Struggle, and I walked out just because I'm not a clown. I don't come from that world of like you make jokes about. We used to fuck niggas up. Excuse me, are we live?
No, we can bleep this.
We used to fuck niggas up for trying to film fights.
Right.
In the hood.
Yeah.
Nigga, you fight. What you doing with the camera? We gonna make you fight, nigga.
Yeah.
Fuck wrong with you, boy.
Yeah.
We ain't covering no drama. That's called instigating.
Right.
And what's up with you? Why you at it, nigga?
Right.
So, niggas like him get weeded out quick. He got a little internet run going on, but we just gotta let himself destruct because he's on the path.
It's kind of,
and basically that was what Nip had to say, and he went on some other platforms. He went on the Tariq Nasheed podcast. Tariq Nasir, my bad, I forgot exactly how to say it, but he produced a bunch of like black rights, or black history movies. Wow. Colors. Yeah, he produced Colors. I don't know how I was forgetting that. But Tariq Nasheed, yeah, he was dope. He had some dope podcasts, and he had Nip on. He addressed it more too in that podcast. But obviously, he didn't feel too great about Academics and his whole movement. Apparently, they had according to Academics, they spoke, and yeah. But we're gonna listen to what Academics had to say here, and what some people had to say to Academics.
So Academics, I don't agree that you're causing anybody to
gotta be delicate about it, bro.
But you have a lot of people who have felt that you have manipulated, that word that you chose to use, manipulated a number of things as well. How do you feel in regards to that?
That was a very interesting piece of audio. I think it's aged rather well. I'll say this though, I'll address each one of those situations.
Let me just say this: when he's saying that piece of audio that is very interesting, he's not talking about Nipsey Hussle. Well, I think he's talking about Nipsey Hussle probably because the self-destruct part. He's like, oh, it's very interesting because obviously he hasn't self-destructed. His platform is growing, his business is growing, and as far as he says both. He says those are two interesting. There was also a clip on this Clubhouse video. They played Vic Mensa also confronting Academics. So he might be talking about the Vic Mensa clip, like, oh, this aged interestingly, just because like Vic Mensa ain't that popping right now and shit. Who knows? But let's continue on. I'll stop pausing it and shit.
First and foremost, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. His comments, which when people are trying to create whatever narrative about you, this is why words are very important. People are gonna pick whatever they want to pick. Nobody cares about the fact that I've said, Karen Silver said, me and Nipsey, we got on the phone, we chopped it up. It was definitely a misunderstanding. Also, when he spoke about and this has happened multiple times with me. When he spoke about walking out of Everyday Struggle, it had nothing to do with me, but he took it. He took it like it was because of me. I'll give you some more information on it. So at the time, Tekashi 6ix9ine was one of the hottest artists on the planet. He was going viral every day. We do a show 4 days a week. We have to speak on the trending topics that we have to debate it. You know, we were a current event debate show. And people should know this on big production sets, like Academics isn't there writing the topics on camera, working the cameras, editing the videos. I do it for my YouTube videos, but I don't do it when I'm working at Complex. I show up, I get prepped by a producer, an associate producer. They tell me what we're going to talk about. I talk about it with, you know, the person who I'm going to speak with or debate with. At the time, it was Wayno. And you know, we speak with the moderator. It happens at First Take. It happens at every place you could see where there's debate. It definitely happens, I know, with Skip and Shannon, right? Our associate producer goes to the green room because Nipsey showed up willingly to the building. You know, he was booked to be on the show. He wanted to talk about his album. Now we ran into this issue with multiple people where people didn't obey or care that much about the format of the show. The show was not an interview show. It's not the Breakfast Club. It wasn't meant to just only talk about your album or what you wanted to do. It was supposed to be, we will talk about some of the stuff you have coming up, but you should join. Just like you don't show up to First Take and say, fuck the playoffs. Let's talk about this. No, you're going to, even if you're going to get a chance to plug whatever you want to plug, you're going to discuss the playoffs. That's just how it is. You're just another opinion that gets to debate. Or to keep it real, you could also not say anything. No one is forcing anyone to say anything. So anyway, our producer brings a list of questions to Nipsey. Nipsey sees it, and I had no idea. By the way, I had no idea him and 6ix9ine. Well, I mean, I guess we could probably deduce that or assume that, but like I didn't know. He felt whatever about 6ix9ine. I don't think he ever spoke on record about him at that time, and he told our producer, "Yo, I don't want to talk about 6ix9ine." The producer came back to us, be like, "Hey, I forgot what the topic was. It was a really big story at the time. 6ix9ine did some wild shit the day before. It was like, hey, our lead story he doesn't want to talk about." And I was like, all right, we could scrap it. Now there was other stories. I believe the second one was like a story about Birdman and Wayne. They brought the remaining topics to him. He then said, I don't want to talk about, matter of fact, nothing but me. So now that puts us in a bind. We have somebody who, Complex is reaching out to people's PR team. They're not just hitting up, like, for my podcast, I hit up people directly. So, like, if I was doing some weird shit on my podcast and people didn't know, well, I'm not briefing them on shit, right? But, like, this is Complex. This is their booking team. They're basically sending examples of the show. They're telling you exactly what, there's no surprises. So now we have somebody who's there who doesn't want to do topics. So we then do any current event topics about artists. We're then trying to appease them. We're trying to cook up topics, basically, which we call evergreen, just about just the music industry in general. Like, we could just shoot the shit. We got to shoot an episode, right? He then says, hey, listen, and this is the message he sends to producer, because I never saw him or talked to him. He said, listen, with all due respect to Academics and whatever he has going on, I don't want to be involved in discussing these topics. I am leaving. And he left. And honestly, I don't think it was kind of weird that he mentioned me, because I don't make topics. But okay. Then I hear him on, the radio show basically saying I walked out of his show because I forgot what his exact words is. And because he's passed away, I feel like it's tasteless to continue, and there's no need to defend any side of it. But just to give context on it, it was definitely, I believe on his side, he thought, Academics is trying to lure me into speaking about an artist I don't want to. And then even when I said no to that, he wants me to speak about other artists, and he just wasn't with it. He blamed the whole thing on me. But if you guys were familiar with Complex at the time, especially after Joe left, people used to be mad at Complex and just say it's act. They would see a list that they didn't like. They would be like, Academics did that. They would see something they didn't like, and they would blame me. So I'm used to that, and I guess it was something I signed up for. But me and him did talk, and one of the great things that did come from that is us kind of acknowledging and realizing both the power in our own voices, and really us, we were trying to have the conversation to keep building to to make sure that our voices was being used appropriately, even if we're in entertainment and being in an entertainment space. So, rest in peace, Nipsey. I forgot
But
this.
Vic Mensa's views.
All right, and that was basically him addressing Nipsey Hussle, and like Axe said though, Nip is already dead, so there's no. I'm not trying to like, oh, was Nip wrong for saying what he said? None of that. I just think it was just interesting. I just think it was an interesting story because Nip is a prolific artist. I wasn't really making videos when Nip was around, so I don't know. I feel like anything involving Nip, I just like fuck it. I'll make a little video and put it out there. If anybody wants to listen to the clip without having to find it on the whole fucking long ass clubhouse, they could just find it here. And yeah, but tell me in the comments below, what do y'all think? Do you think Academics was in the right for addressing this situation? You think he was right for talking about it? Do you think? And what do you think about Nipsey Hussle? Do you love his music? Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Peace.